All right. Good morning, everyone. 8Bits here with a Monday stream. Oh, it was a whirlwind weekend. Off camping. I got some crazy sunburn. Yeah. And Brent, good morning. How are you doing today? I hope your weekend was good. Mine was really good, right? Let me think here. I want to show some pictures. Let me find some. So, let me copy media link, I think is what I can do. Yeah, like this, right? So this is the place that we were all camping, and camping was it was so much fun, right? It wasn't like hot. It was only a high of maybe like 70. However, we were up almost another 1,000 feet compared to where we are now, and this like the sun, like the I don't know, you just burned easy, right? So I definitely got I definitely got sunburn, and yeah. But this was it, and then right down at the bottom over here, there was a river, and it was a lot of fun. So let me open that one. And of course, Sophie went with us. And she carries her backpack because she's the loot dog. She runs around, collects all the loot for people. But it was a lot of fun. It was just really nice to get away for a couple of days, even though it was like 2 days. But that's all right. And like I said, I definitely got sun. I don't know. You can sort of see it on my hand. It's real red, like this top part here, like here, and then you can see my watch, like a band where I have like a bracelet on. But yeah, it's you can definitely see it on that one. It's pretty red right here, and my nose, and like here, and like my, you can see the red mark from the turning into like a sunburn redneck or something. I'm definitely, it's yeah, it's pretty harsh. But yeah, Sophie had a blast. And like I said, when you're looking down, it was so nice to be there. This is just another view, right? We don't have huge amounts of water here in New Mexico, so it's nice to get to a river to be able to enjoy, a day and one night of camping. Yeah, so it was nice. So that's what I did. We left early yesterday, or early Saturday morning, which is why there was no stream, and then got back late afternoon yesterday. And I pretty much haven't done much. We unpacked the car. I started putting like aloe and all that fun stuff on the sunburn. But I'm feeling a little beat up from it. Not to mention, Friday, I was walking the dog before we left, and wasn't paying attention. I was on a sidewalk that had a drop on the edge of it. And Sophie decided, oh, well, I wanted to go smell something over there. So she did a quick turnaround, went that way, and it knocked me off balance, and I completely fell, like face planted. And my knees all bruised up. So I've been having to deal with that all weekend too. And my hand's a little sore, beat up here from it. And luckily, I did hit my chin, but it was just a graze and no actual bruising or anything. But that was my weekend. What Brent, what have you been up to all weekend? and I'm catching up because I didn't do this yesterday. So I'm catching up on any game news. I don't know what's all out there. I don't know if anything happened over the weekend. Hero. This is a fun game. If you've ever played, if you like this style, like Hero's Hour is pretty fun. You were trying to work on the tree builder, but you did get pulled away for a few responsibilities, but you made some decent progress. Excellent. I mean, you know, you got responsibilities if you're not camping. Even camping, you got to set it, like, it's a lot, right? You got to set everything up, and yeah, we have it down pretty good. It doesn't take us real long to get the camp, like, our stuff set up, and then we just get to relax the rest of the time, hang out with all the other everyone that showed up, and that was it. Fun time. So, what do we need here? I need some music going. And we're going to do that. Anyway, welcome in. How are you doing today? All right, so we got music going. First thing, there must have been some sort of update or something over the weekend or whatever. I had to make sure all my audio stuff was working properly. All right, so we got music going. Looks like it's playing on stream. Perfect. All right, and as always, I pin at the top of the chat the web whiteboard. All right, so the web whiteboard is a great place. You can come in here, you can draw, you can say hi, you can do whatever, but it's also where we go and talk about the different things that we're doing in the game, right? So with that, let me find some of the stuff we've previously talked about, and I'll paste it in here real quick, like this, right? We'll move it over here. Right? So we have that. We were talking about I think it was this one. Right? So we keep breaking down like what we're doing and how the progress is going so far. All right. So now that we got those on there, I think I need to show you the stuff that I did get done during last week. Right now, as I had said, and happened Saturday and Sunday, there was no stream because I was off camping, so no streaming. And I did manage through the end of last week, before I went camping, to get a couple things done. Right? I'm not sure about it, so we're going to show it here in just a few moments, right? But before we do any of that, was there any game news this weekend? Like anything big come out or happen? I don't think so, right? You wish you knew what any of this code on screen meant. Don't worry, I feel the same, even though I put it there. Right? I think there was an announcement. I just can't remember what it was. There's a remake of a Neo Geo type game. Excellent. Game releases. There's always good games coming out, but I don't think there was anything that was catching my eye yet. We're about 8 days away from Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred expansion coming out. I think that's kind of it, right? So we're going to, I think, Ragman has been out for a little while. Gotcha. All right, well, let's just drop over and switch screens here. All right. So, the code. Yeah, don't worry. I put it there, and half the time I forget what it means too. So don't worry about it. Let's show what I did get done, right? One of the first things that you see that have been updated now since version 1 is a new map in the beginning, right? It's actually one of my old maps from one of my stories, so it's coming along, right? But on version 1, it was just sort of a tan screen, like tan map, but nothing on it. I didn't get it inputted in time and all that fun stuff, right? So then once you get that started, you're in here, you have all the NPCs going. None of that's really been updated. Last week, was it last week? I updated Brewer. So now Brewer, the barkeep, is his actual Tiefling avatar, right? And when you come down and we go into the battle, right? This is kind of it now. I am in the process of working. I started this last night. It's not randomized yet or any of that stuff, but I'm trying to make it so it's going to be a random encounter between 1 to 3 enemies. Yeah, I'm trying to make it so it's a random thing, right? All I did so far was make it so that they're there, right? It's not, they may work or may not work. It may break it just because they're there, but not set to be randomized. And that was one of the things we were going to try to work on today. So the idea was sometimes it's just going to be 1. Yeah, you're going to be able to. So like when you select light attack, you see how like the little arrows here, you're going to be able to choose and select who you attack. So then it starts becoming strategic when you work in combination with your companion once you get a companion, right? Right now, just because I only put these in here last night, you're only going to be able to attack the middle one. One of the other things that I managed to do last week, though, was I started working on the current turn and up next ones. You like that? Yeah. I think that it's turning out okay, right? So whose turn it is here. Who's up next will be here. And I don't know if it'll stay that way or whether or not I'm going to have multiple up nexts, right? This type of thing is my goal with being able to make an RPG. Excellent. Yeah, this is my version 2. The first one I did was this one, right? And it was a 3-month challenge. So I made the first version in 3 months, and this one, we're taking it the same game, but we're now making version 2, and we're going to spend 6 months on it. I think multiple allows you to make more strategic decisions, but it's ultimately your call. You think multiples? Multiple on what? I may have missed something. So let me find the game here. Yeah, so right now up here only has current turn and who's up next, but not the other ones. Oh, you meaning this? Yeah. I want multiples, I think. right, Brent? I think it would be nice to see all the like 3, maybe up to 3 who's coming up. That way you can plan what you're doing. Yeah, I think that would be good. All right. Let me relock that down. You haven't done coding at all in your entire life? Excellent. Internet said GameMaker was best for beginners, but it's so overwhelming. It can be. It can be. Here's a thing. So I started just about 2 years ago, not knowing programming. I'm not a programmer. So by trade or any of that stuff. So it was all from starting from scratch, right? My very first thing I did was a remake of Asteroids. And I did it this way. So I think this was it. Was this the link? Yeah. So GameMaker has something called GameMaker Visual, right? And this is the link for it, right? And it allows you to visually see what things are and place them into order to be able to do it. What I would recommend is the Space Rocks. That's what they called it. So anyway, this is the tutorial that I started with, right? It was a good one to walk through and do. It helps you sort of get basis on it, but GameMaker is definitely a good choice for it. And Gleb, good morning. Tutorial said not to use visual. I mean, if you don't know programming, visual's not bad. You're not going to want to stick with it. One of the things that helps is in here, you're going to be able to see the code. By that, I mean, like, if this was my screen, right? And I right-clicked on here, okay? You can choose to see the visual or see your code. So now you can correlate, what get audio length looks like in code. And you slowly start to learn it that way. That's kind of how I did it, to be able to get to doing stuff, right? So yeah, you're able to see this and learn what things are, but then you can right click on inside your little event here and see the code, and you'll be like, oh, that looks neat. Okay, I understand what that means now. I understand what if mouse press looks like or set point direction in code looks like. So that when you're ready on your next project, you start without the visual and go forward. And Sonny, this is a great time if you will have questions, because both Brent and Gleb are GameMaker devs. You want a semi-RPG simulator, sort of like Stardew or Fields of Mystery. That's your final goal. Excellent. Yeah, I did a bunch of things. I always recommend small projects first. So I did the tutorial. I did a couple little game jams. So small little projects. I started one long one. This was a year. But then after that, I also did 3-month ones. Right? So I did a tower defense in 3 months. I did Twitch avatars in 3 months. The Twitch avatars are what you see running around the bottom of the screen right here. Then I did another game jam an RPG for 3 months, a tower defense, and now we're back to the RPG we're going to spend like 6 months on it. Community. Good morning, Q. 8 is a super great dev, really smart, and has an amazing process. Well, I appreciate the compliments. You know, fake it till you make it. I'm getting there. Right? I'll get there. But it is a process, right? Don't expect your first game to just be the win-all games, right? And Gleb, your honest advice, don't waste your time with visual. Okay. It lacks support for many things you can do in code, and you'll end up switching to code anyways. True, you are going to switch. For me, I did the visual thing for one tutorial because I needed to just see sort of how it was. But, and I don't know. It worked for me, but it's not for everyone. Things seem hard at first. They always are. And that's okay. Like as Gleb was saying, that it's normal. Stick with it. True. And son, is it better to work in Pixel? Because you don't own any Pixel programs. You just draw sprites with a pixel brush. Oh, I see. Okay. Here's what I use. Let me open it. All right, so I use a program called a Sprite, and I'm not the best with it. I'm getting a lot better, but this is the program I would recommend for doing pixel art, right? Outside of that, until you're ready to get a program, you can always, here, we'll close this, use the pixel editor here, right? So in here, if I go to Sprite, right? So now we're in here and we go to edit. You can do design stuff in here, right? So if you just want like a pixel, there you are. You know, you can do all kinds of stuff in here until you start to get a sprite, right? It is. And which is fine. You don't have to immediately jump into it. You can get stuff here. Or my suggestion, also, I do this a lot. You can go to itch. Right? Just go to itch.io. You can browse assets. So go to browse and then assets. And you can find assets. Some are free, some are not. But you can find stuff to get started with. Right? And then you don't have to worry so much about the artwork, and you can concentrate on learning the code. And also, there was a follow. Thank you for the follow. But, you know, there's lots of free ways to do it. You don't have to buy a sprite yet. If it's expensive, save up to get it. And you can find free assets to use. And then that allows you to concentrate on the learning the code, right? But yeah, like I think I just saw it. Brent was saying GameMaker, yeah, this sprite editor, right? And you can do it, and based on the size, you know, this is 32 by 32 pixels, right? But you can set it to whatever you want based on what your game is, right? Waiting for the game to show up again, because I just started it up again, and there we are. OBS is always so far behind with running this. All right. Anyways, like I said, I have a new map now. We come in. Brewer has a new avatar here. And what I'm going to be doing the same thing. So for version 2, I'm going to be adding. Why is my nose running? I'm going to be adding more NPCs, and NPCs are going to be named after people in chat. Also from the local game dev, just like a guild, just like these ones are, right? So I'm going to be increasing the NPCs at some point. All right, so we're back to the battle. Sonny, it's so overwhelmed. Sure, you're going to feel that way. Start small. Do not plan that your first game is going to be the one that's going to make you lots of money. That's my suggestion, right? There's always a plan to it, right? So I would make small little projects, make a whole bunch of them, right? Just do a bunch of small projects, learn a couple things, and then start working your way towards the game. Kelvar, good morning. FYI, there is a free version of a sprite called Libra Sprite. It is a fork of an older version of a sprite. Oh, okay. If costs matter, and there are free pixel editor tools as well. Excellent. So let's look at that one. What was it called? Libra Sprite. Here it is. Here, Sonny, I will post the link right there for you. You can come in here, and this is it. This is a free version, basically. It's an older version or a branch of it. And yeah, it looks to be free. And you get it right here. You don't want money for the game. You just want to play a game story that you cannot find online. Excellent. So that's also perfectly okay. You can start right away if you would like on that. My suggestion still is spend a little bit of time making a couple small games to get some of your flow going, and then start working on the bigger games, like your longer RPG game. What else? Yeah, the pixel editor with GameMaker. True. I use it all the time, so you want a specific type of story to play, but there's none like it. Excellent time to learn how to make a game then. Right? All right. Last week, I managed to get in. Well, we have 3 enemies now. They're not randomized right now, and you can't select them, but you can only select one of them. But they're there. These, I got in my current turn up next, and made it so this is working more smoothly now. So like I can open up my inventory, I can slide an item here, and when I put it into the quick slot, it is shown now in the quick items. Am I going to go in and replace sprites? Well, at this point, some of my sprites are already set, right? My rats are good. Most of the scenery is okay. Although I have lots more scenery to add with version 2. Like I'm adding biomes, right? But here, I'm still working on a little bit of this. If you were to start making your game first with temp stick figures, you could learn as you go. True. And yes, 100%. when I usually get started with a game, I am making sprites that literally will be like a stick figure, right? You can just, you know, it doesn't matter what it is, right? That is your temporary sprite. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing here, huh? There. It's just a temporary thing, right? You can do that. You can also just do the capsule, right? And that's a person or whatever. So yeah, then you have those and you go in and replace them, and that's okay. Yep, I would use a capsule or just draw a stick figure and then set the sprite to an object and get it to move, right? And then you'll be good to go. All right. One of the things I think is going to happen, right? So I'm going to copy this, and we're going to come over to the whiteboard and talk about this, right? So right now, up in the top corner of the screen is this, right? So this is our current turn, right? And it's showing a little tiny player character inside here. What is up next? And right now it's just a rat. I think the idea would be to make it so that it shows multiple enemies, right? You need stick figures so you can make vague shapes with legs. Excellent. And you're going to silently watch so you can learn GameMaker. Excellent. I appreciate the lurk. All right, so the idea is we have current turn, and it's going to show exactly who's there, right? Up next, I think I need up to 4 spots. So we have our current turn. We have up next. And so at most, we're going to have 3 enemies. And we still need a up next spot for whoever, if we have a companion out. So we're going to need 4 in here at some point. But I think that is going to be it. Why not just show 1 enemy and you're like who's up next in this? Because I think it'll add more strategic value to the game. And I think, Brent, we were just starting to talk about that earlier this morning, if you're still here. And this way you can sort of formalize what you need to do with all the enemies. Is this what you were referring to earlier when about strategic and kind of that stuff, right? Is if we have the multiple, like all the enemies that are in there, right? So if we have 3 enemies and the companion, you can see who's all in order, and it allows you to visually see it and start formulating a plan about how you want to do attacking. Right? Because you're like, oh, okay, I have a rat here and I have like another rat and another rat, fine. But then you're like, oh, I have a rat. And it may be that you go, a rat goes or an enemy goes, then your companion goes, and then the other rats. They don't all have to be you companion, rat, right? I was going to try to do this, make it a random value on whose turn it is, like the turn that gets produced, right? Yeah, you think you want to see all the enemies turn up until your next turn, true. Like, have all turns there until all characters in the battle is shown at least once, true. I think so. I think this will be the way this will be. So you can see, like, you, your companion, the enemies, and it'll be, you know, these will rotate. Everybody will rotate. So, and maybe not have the words up next, because that takes up a little space. Maybe just be current turn and then like each one, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's coming up, that one's next, that one's next. So but all this stuff is now working pretty good. Like I said, we can open inventory. It takes away one action point. We can move an item not using an action point at this time. But if I want to use the item, it'll use up an action point. You think simple RPGs and games like Pokemon give actors a speed variable that determines turn order? I think that's a good one. I don't have speed set into the enemies, but that's easy to do and probably a good thing to have. All right, let's open up our notes. All right, let's do this. We're going to say speed value of enemy or speed value of characters for turn position. All right, that makes sense. You had an idea for a skill. Excellent. But it could be more of a pain than a fun thing. You'll write it on the whiteboard for later. Okay. So we were able to open our inventory. We moved an item into the quick slot. So if we want to use it now, we can. Right now, it only selects the middle one, right? So we hit heavy attack, and then once you select it, it'll highlight, and you can hit E to activate it. And then once you're out of points, it's going to be the end of your turn. All right. Also, right now, the attack is hurting all three of the enemies at once. We'll fix that. Also, the enemy's attack, if you choose to go into defend. So you go into defend, they kind of auto attack. All right. I knew that was kind of broken. But, I think it's coming along, right? I like this being added. I smoothed out some stuff here. Then we end turn. There's nobody really to attack, so we can just say kind of run. Or not, because that's broken too. All right. We'll get it. All right. like I said, I think for right now, because I don't have speed values added to all the enemies yet. Let's start with a random range. So I need my battle switcher. Turn off that. I think if we do enemy count. Sometimes I feel like iRandom works and doesn't work. But we're going to try it. And Sakura, welcome in. Hope you're doing well as today. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Today, so far, has been going well. Right, Sophie? Sophie is on the move. Yes. Sophie had a really good weekend. We were out camping, and we went to someplace that had a bunch of water, like a river. And here's Sophie. Right, with her little backpack. That she carries all her stuff because she's the loot dog. She runs out, finds our loot, you know. But she loved it. She had a good time. Didn't you? I, of course, had a really good time. I also got really sunburned. And yeah, it hurts a little bit. All right, we have a Sophie treat. Who did that? Brent, thank you so much for that. Let's switch over to Sophie Cam for a moment. There we are. But yeah, I don't know if you can sort of see, like, my face is definitely a little bit red. And here you are. Yeah, sunburn everywhere, right? Any advice on starting game dev? You're in the right place. There's lots of advice from here. It will be a nice tan. Right now, my arms are definitely a little too red. So, particularly because, like, I don't know how, but my arm, like, right in the elbow area, like where you fold, like, bend your arm, got sunburnt, and that hurts. So, hi, Arwen. For those that don't know, there is a 5-year-old. She just turned 5. 5-year-old Quaker parrot sitting behind me. So, Sakura, are you looking to get into GameMaker? Is that what you're... if not, that is fine. There are other engines, and some of the people in the chat know different ones. So you're looking to choose an engine for sure, and GameMaker comes to mind. You did want to try Godot. And Calvar is a very good one to listen to. His advice on starting game dev: keep it small. Just learn something new every day. Don't try to make your game day your dream game in one day. Right? I hold to that. And that's what I've been doing. So with all my projects that I've done over the course of the 2 years that I have learned how to do this, I've done multiple small projects, some 3-month-long projects, a year-long project, and it all helps, right? It all helps. And Gleb is excellent to listen to. So for Godot, that is a very good starting point to go to. And I heard another Sophie treat. Who was that? That was Homeless. Good morning, Homeless. It is nice to see you here. All right, let's do another Sophie cam. And Sophie treat from Homeless. There we are. Yeah, always start small, right? Your first 5 games should not be something you're like, this is going to be the game of games top level, right? Just keep it small. Make it like a month, a week, not even. Make it something in a day, right? Find tutorials that you make stuff in like a day. Start to learn a little bit, and then go from there. Make a project and just make a character move. Make a project and just make a character take what you learned last time. So you make a character move. That's one project. Stop it, right? Make a new project. Take that character from learning how to move to learning how to jump. And work your way up, right? And reminds you of your thoughts on pixel art. Homeless, whoa. Why is the co-star doing all the talking and we came here for the star Sophie? We want to hear her give a speech. True. Homeless, Sophie's exhausted. We went camping this weekend. She's like, I'm not exhausted. I'm back here. I'm here. Right? And yeah, it was a lot of fun. But she's like, I'm not tired at all. Don't listen to him. Right, Sophie? She did. She always hears. All right. Pixel art, if you don't know, I recommend EightBitsaByte, and I'm learning how to do it. Now, something new I learned today, if you don't want to pay for EightBitsaByte, right? There's one called LibreSprite, and it is an old version of EightBitsaByte that has been branched off, and that is available. And that's free. So you don't have to do it. How am I doing? When I first started learning, I was not using a separate program. GameMaker has a sprite editor built into it. And that's how I started learning sprite work, because it's already built here, right? Then I started learning how to use another program, and now, like, I do a mix of it. If I just want something really quick, sometimes I'm right here, right? If I want something that's really nice and spend time, I can do it over in EightBitsaByte and then move it over, or I still do stuff here. That's all. Kavar, the biggest hurdle you had while learning was watching the author instantly have the answer for whatever the problem was. It would never click like that. True. And it never does. Basic shapes. I did a lot. So when I design my games, most of my stuff, when I first start, is like this. This is like a person. What I do now is I do a combination of things. Some of it is my artwork. Some of it is going to itch and finding an asset bundle. Right? Almost all of the asset bundles that you can find, whether they're free or ones you buy, are available for you to use on a commercial project, meaning you can put it in your game and put it out there, right? So you don't have to do all the artwork yourself if you don't want to. The Sproutlands, right here. Yeah, see, that's exactly it. You can come here, find this asset bundle, and this one has a free version license. The asset pack can be used in any non-commercial one for free, but if you purchase it, it changes the license and you can use it for commercial products, right? If you get the free version, you can't use it in a commercial product, but to learn, you could, right? So asset bundles are a wonderful way to go about it. In CalvArt, you would recommend picking an engine and make something. Just start, don't overthink it. True. You swear you watched a video of the person making that pack, but you can't find it anymore. It could be. It could be. Lots of those, the creators of these asset packs have like YouTubes and all other stuff, and you can watch them make their artwork, which is neat. Sophie, there is no barking. All right. Yeah, so this is what I started with like this, right? And then I slowly replace things. Now, a majority of the assets in here for the RPG are from asset bundles, right? So the housing, the scenery is all from a asset bundle. The people, most of them are all from another asset bundle. Like I made Sophie though. The sheep is mine, right? So I do some, but I also use a majority of asset bundles. That kind of stuff, right? How long have I been doing pixel art for? Well, pixel art probably really just about 2 years, on and off, right? The whole thing, learning game development, learning programming, learning art, all of it with it. I do have a background in 2D drawing. So, I mean, but it's been a while, right? I draw really, like I can do paper drawing just fine. Pixel art, a little different. I'm still learning it. I'm getting better at it. I was really good with doing linear, like perspective drawings. So stuff that is like drawing a city, a room, that kind of, like this, right? Drawing a little city, you have your points, and you just use a ruler to line them everything up so you have the correct perspective. I was really good at doing that. So I do have a little bit of like an art stuff, but pixel art, really, I didn't start with that until about 2 years ago. Also, I just saw the notification in about a minute. Ads are going to go off. Now, during ads, I usually take a beat right back. I grab more coffee because coffee is what makes me move. I need to uncover Arwen. You're on day 8 for your pixel art learning. Excellent. And but you have years of experience with other arts. Excellent. Oh, I gotta hydrate. Lots of water. And I run the ads every hour for about 3 minutes. During that time, I take a be right back. I try not to cover content during the ad breaks. And then we'll be back at it. Is it a myth? No. Coffee does dehydrate you. Even though it has water and stuff in it, it's the caffeine. The caffeine is what dehydrates you. So if you drink coffee, you should be drinking double the amounts of water, which is what I do. Yeah, it's not just like coffee dehydrates you. It's really the caffeine in the coffee that dehydrates you. But that is actually a thing. You learn something new every day? Excellent. I try to learn something new every day. All right, like I said, ads are going to go off here any moment, and when they do, I will take a be right back. Double checking my music here. The channel should be playing during the ad break, so we should be good. All right. We're going to switch back over to here, and there are the ads. I will see everybody shortly. Hang tight, get up, grab some coffee, whatever you need to do. But I will see everybody back in a few moments. All right. We are back. Arwen is uncovered. I had to feed her, so I gave her some new food. We're good. So, what were we working on right before the break? Bunch of stuff, right? I know somebody's drawing, so let's take a look at our whiteboard. I see it. I don't hear it. Jeepin'. Good morning. Hold on.
Hello there.
Oh, it's really delayed.
Hello there. Another happy landing.
That was really delayed. All right. Anyways, I signed into Sound Alerts, got it going, but I saw it before I heard it. Tangia could be lagging. Could also need me to sign in too, so let me sign into there too. There we are. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Brent, low priority. Idea. Using an item on your quick slot bar blocks out that slot for that turn. Oh, I see what you mean. So if we have like slot 1, right? And we'll say slot 2 and slot 3. Tangia is lagging. Yeah, I got that. Sound alerts could be. I signed into both of them, so we'll see. Hopefully they work a little faster. But the idea is, as you use them for each turn, so slot 1 stops, right? Then slot 2, then slot 3. So at most, you're only going to be able to use the 3 items, right? And then at the beginning of the next turn, they become available again. I think that would work, right? Because, like, do I have this running? No, let's run it. All right, come on. OBS, see the game. There we are. All right, so then I wonder, I would probably have to make it so you can split your items out. Right now, they just stack. Because if I move it, it moves the whole stack. So right now, I have it currently set that if you open the inventory, open your backpack, it's 1 action point. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Yeah, I sneezed. So opening the inventory is 1 action point. Moving an item around is not using up an action point. That's a freebie. Right? So that's your freebie. However, using the item is going to be an action point. You just spitball ideas. Those are always the best ones, though. As you come up with them, the core stuff done, you can choose things you might like from a pool of ideas. Excellent, which is what we've been enjoying doing. Yeah, because now there we are. If I use the item, right, we're down 1 action point from using the item. I think probably the idea of splitting out an item might be a good one to do. So we're going to put that into the list, right? There we are. All right. So I think we need to go back and continue trying to work on our enemies, because right now they're all kind of joined together. We need to make it so they are randomized on how many show up in the battle, right? And ignore the AP base, AP upgraded. This is action point upgraded or action point base. It's a testing of a skill that will be able to increase the number of AP that you have. Right? So this button won't actually be here in the future. It's just for me to do some testing on this. All right. In the switcher, I added my global.enemy count equals iRandom range between 1 to 3. It doesn't always work right, but I don't know a better way to do random. So we're going to stick with that until I can identify it not working. All right, we need battle enemy. In my create event up here, I'm going to put this at the top here before the other functions. And we're going to put this into an array. With object, battle, enemy, my array push. Array push. If I can spell it right, enemies and the ID. There we are. Ooh. Oh, I want to sort by the Y position. So and the reason is because the enemies are layered on a Y level, right? So we're sort of kind of doing it that way. But where was I? I was here. I think we need to do essentially a couple for loops. We need to do one that does, if it's less than an array length, enemies, what happens, and then sunburn. Then we need one. In my head, I see a for loop, like an array length of enemies, but we need another one inside it with an if statement. Because we have enemies I, we have enemies J, so it's comparing the two enemies, right? Well, it's comparing basically two of the spots in the array. Temp to be able to overwrite it. All right, I think I got it. So more. What is it? It's variable I equals 0. And then I is less than my array length of enemies, which is what we set above. Then we have -1, always offset it, and then I plus plus because we want it to increase. Change to the next one. But we need the second one to compare them with. So for variable, we're going to use J equals our I plus 1 to offset it. And then I need J to equal my array length, not the I. Okay. And we still want my there. And we'll say J plus plus. Like that. And now we're going to do our if statement. Because we want I to be, we're checking if J is less than I. It essentially will move it into attempt to overwrite it. So if enemy J Y position, not Y, is less than underscore enemies are I, Y, there. And then here, I want my temp equals my enemies I. But enemies I is equal to enemies J. J. With temp. Okay. We need to now find the instance index. So we're gonna say image enemy index. If I can type. Variable I equals 0. I array length of enemies. Enemies. Right. Meat, you gotta head off to bed. You work tomorrow. Brent, as always, I appreciate you hanging out for a little while. And have a great day at work tomorrow. Get some sleep. All right, so we're finding our instance index here. So we're now doing enemies. I need my I, and that's ID. Enemy index. We want it to split out. All right. Now, I think I needed to do like an activate or deactivate based on the count. So we'll say active equals our enemy index. If it's less than our global enemy count. Visible equals active. All right. Perfect. So we did a couple things here. We sorted it for the Y position. I should probably really... I like doing regions. Enemy turn sort, right? And region. This sorts for Y. This is finding instance index. This is activate or deactivate. Deactivate. Based on the count. All right. So now we need to go into our battle manager. I need to find with object or battle enemy. Battle player, battle here. We're going to change this slightly because I want it to be if it's active only, right? If it's not active, we don't care. So if active, then I want it to do that. All right. Now we need to do shuffling a little bit. I think I can leave it. I'm trying to think of order. I think it's okay right here. Variable I. We're going to set it to the array. Whoops. Length. part. -1. Doing our for loop. So -1. I 0 and I plus plus. No, wait. Other way. Minus. So we want it to match our. And then I need temp equals participants I. Participants I should equal participants J. And we'll do override it like the temp, right? So there. Oops. Underscore there. Participants J underscore temp. All right, that should now. So let me before I forget what this is. Right, so this is now selecting our random turn order. All right. I think that's kind of it. So we're going to go ahead and run it and see what kind of bugs we run into. All right, so far, game started. We're good. Let's go. All right. Our first bug. Give me a second. Let me. All right. There, I put it into here. So object, create event, battle enemy. Let's go there. Oh, we're in it. Index not set before reading. Enemy count. All I did was create global enemy count, right? But I didn't set it. So at the top here, we'll do global enemy count equals, we'll just say 1, right? But we need it. We're going to do a safety check with it. Well, we're going to update my safety check. So somewhere I have active equals enemy count. Okay, we're going to change this. Let's. So swappable components, right? We're going to say global enemy count or 1. And I need to close the bracket. All right, let's give it another shot. All right, so now on this particular battle, we have 2, right? And I can't select, I can only do the 1 right now, but it works. All right. Let me think about what it is we want to do now. We have all so all the enemies are taking like damage at once. We don't want that. All right, we fixed that. But here, so enemies all take same damage at once, right? But we also want to fix or make it so that we can select the enemy. Select enemy. Right. So we need to select the enemy which we want to attack. I think these 2 things are the main points right now. And then we'll come back and try to pinpoint it a little better, right? So let's think about that. I want to be able to select the enemy. And right now, it's going to be the mouse. I want the targeting system to probably handle that. Okay. So, yeah, I want my targeting system. And right now, the problem that I have is targeting start and targeting next both use instance find of the battle enemy. So I'm going to have to replace that and reorganize it. We're just going to redo this whole script, right? So we're going to start with, oops. I do need to start, though. We're just going to redo what it looks like. So what is this going to do? Well, we're going to make our targeting start finds first active enemy. So with object battle enemy, if it's active, then we have our global battle target. All right. But now we need to fix up targeting next, right? So if I'm going to rewrite this. I don't think I need that. No. I don't need it to be less than one. Well, that's true. I do want that. Yeah, we're just going to start here. First thing first, we're going to say if it's active, right? And what is this doing? This is my array of active enemies. Well, it's really building the array. Build array of active enemies. This is my width. There. It's active. Oops. Ray push. Active. ID. All right. Count, but I want it to be the array length. Active. All right. Now we need to find current target. Variable current index. Okay. My for loop looks correct on the main line, but if this is not, so now it's if active battle target. There we are. All right. I think I have one too many things in here. I don't need that one. Yeah. So then we have variable Let me get some lines under here so I can see it better. Variable next index, current index +1 with our modification count. Target equals our active next index. Then we're not returning this anymore, but we are saying if, oh wait, I want it to be not this. If not instance exists, global battle target, we're going to say return false. Otherwise, we return global battle target dot active. Okay. That should be okay. I think that's working. So now all three functions should work with an active enemy. And we have targeting next. So we're going to cycle through the active ones. That way, inactive enemies, well, I may have made a mistake, but because I think I made it so that inactive enemies can't be targeted, but you should be able to target whichever one you want. Let's just run it. Run it and figure it out. I'm on OBS. You see it? All right. All right. Select. Yeah. All right. So we only have that. No, they both. All right, so right now we have all enemies are currently taking damage from the same player attack. We don't want that. If we end turn, let's do it again. Let's do a light attack. It looks like it's attacking the one up here, but this one's taking the damage. And then, what was that other one I saw? Let's end turn. Only one enemy is attacking. All right, so our key problems right now are these two things, right? So one is all enemies are currently taking damage from the same player attack. We don't want that. Only one enemy is attacking during the enemy turn. That seems to be the main issue that we see, right? And it won't let if I do a light attack, it's not going to switch because right now they're both taking damage. right? Well, I think it's because light attack and heavy attack steps are hitting all enemies. Well, I'm not 100% sure how we're going to handle that. We have light attack and heavy attack. So if we go to a heavy attack and we use it, one of the enemies is not taking damage at all, really. Well, let's try to fix one thing to this. I need here. My step event. Let's look at our battle player. Pretty sure it's where it's, yeah, attack light. So, variable, attack instance, create depth, attack light. I should only target the attack target, right? Which is, so it sees attack target and it knows technically which one should be correct. So I think my issue is going to be somewhere else, but we're going to run it again. All right, so I select an attack. It's picking the first one. How do we tell it which one specifically to do this, right? I think one of the problems I did was in battle enemy, I told it which it needs to be enemy count 1, right? So that technically is making it every single one of them. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Here, every single one of them is being considered a enemy count 1. but that should be handled in our switcher. So now we shouldn't have to worry about it because that's doing this. So we're gonna go back to battle enemy, and we're gonna remove that line. Okay, so let's run it. I think making it so that the battle switcher handles the switching between them, it should handle that more effectively now, right? So we choose it. It should. All right. Good. Well, it's not quite what I thought. All right, so we need to adjust probably I don't know. What do you think about this? Maybe the battle manager. Yeah. Oh. Let's end turn. 1, 2, and it was just the middle one that did the attack. Good morning, Panuch. All right. I heard that. That was a Sophie treat. I appreciate that. She appreciates it. Hey, Sophie. There she is. Good. Yeah. Hang tight. All right. Let's switch over. Here we are. Sit. There. Now, we had a really good weekend. We went camping this weekend. Sophie got to spend lots of time out in the playing and hanging out with some other dogs, and we even, I have a picture up where we were camping. Yeah, right near the river. And she wears her loot bag because, as all animal pets in games, she runs around and collects all the loot. But she had a really good time. We all had a good time. I got sunburnt. She collects the loot. That's why she has the bag with the little pouches on it. I got sunburned. My arm is pretty sunburned. And my right arm hurts. You can see it right there. Look, the line. And right where I bend my arm is real burnt and sore. So it's kind of a lot. Secret Harbor, good morning. I was just talking about the trip a little bit. We were out and had a good time. Oh, let me switch off of the Sophie cam. And Sophie got to hang out near some water and hang out with some other dogs. It wasn't real hot, but we were up high, about another 1,000 feet higher. And we'll switch back to this for a moment. I happened to get sunburn, so you can see my arm with the sunburn mark there, and it's all on my hand here. You can see where my bracelet was. But that's not abnormal for me. I get sunburn. But that's okay. We had a lot of fun. Actually, I kind of got beat up all weekend. I fell on Friday and hurt my knee, so it's bruised. So I had to deal with that all weekend. Then I got sunburn, and yeah. Overall, it was a really fun time. I hope your weekend has gone well. And what I'm doing here, and I know you don't understand this, I'm trying to work on the game and fix some stuff. But I think we're going to do this. Fish, welcome in. How you doing this morning? You had crappy weather all weekend. We did not. Ours, it got cold. I mean, when we were camping this weekend, it dropped to 30 on Saturday night. So it was definitely a little cold for us, but not terrible. Fish, you're tired. I'm doing well. I'm sunburnt. I was camping over the weekend, and forgot sunscreen. I saw it. It was on the shelf, and it didn't make it in the bags. So that was my fault. Yeah, but we had a lot of fun. Obviously, we took Sophie, and she got to hang out near the river, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun. You weren't camping, but you slept in your camper all weekend. Close enough, right? All right, we're going to add a debug in here. And I probably want it with battle enemy loop right here. So we're going to put it right below it. Son had a wrestling tourney, and you stayed on site in the fifth wheel. Excellent. That's kind of like camping. Sort of. Close enough, right? I need this to do a few things. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we met up with other people from the off-road community. So there was, I don't know, maybe 8 vehicles, I think. There's probably about 10 to 15 of us. It was nice. It was it was a good event. You need to do some overlanding. Yeah, it was really cool. This is it, right along the canyon wall here. The river was down at the bottom here. You see some of the other people, and then we were off on different parts of it, and it was a lot of fun, right? So yeah, we do well with it. You just got a new rig, haven't decided decked it out yet. You should definitely hit me up if you're looking into it, because part of a couple different overland and off-road groups, and yeah, we'll get you hooked up. I can definitely let you know when outings are or whatever, and try to get you out on the road, right? All right, I do see ads are going to go off here in a moment. When they do, I need to take a short be right back. You should cut you in AT4. Nice. Yeah, the off-road groups are all different rigs, right? All different types. Both Jeepin and I have Jeep Wranglers, but there's all different styles with it. All right. Well, yeah, 12 Jeeps. This is a very different one for you. That's a lot of Jeeps. Yeah, it would be. That would be very different. Yeah, I love it. Like taking it, you know, off-road and stuff. I don't have a whole lot of extra stuff on the outside yet on this particular one, but I will get it there. So I'll get it. We have some ideas that we want to do for both our Jeeps, and it'll work out well. But there are the ads. I'm going to take a be right back. I will see everybody in a few moments. Hang tight, get up, grab some coffee, do whatever you need to, and I will see you all shortly. Be right back. All right. We're back. Ooh, you're showing your age. That's okay. Your transmission broke, and that Mercedes transmissions. Yeah, those are expensive to fix. Yeah. Even well, I mean, even the Jeeps, right? The Wrangler, everything's expensive now. So it doesn't really matter. But we slowly pick off stuff that we need to do. Let me do this. Gotcha. The 12 Plus, gotcha, is a Mercedes. Was going to be 8K to fix and replace. That is a expensive fix for sure. My previous Jeep, I needed to. It would have been about the same. So instead, I ended up trading it. Got the new one, a newer one, and it does pretty good, right? On Jeepin's Jeep. Which is a TJ. I need to. I'm waiting for the stuff to arrive, but I'm going to be reclaiming. I need to replace the AC compressor, so I'm going to get all my own refrigerant extracting, like reclaiming it. So pull the refrigerant out, which is the R134A. Put it into a tank. Then I can remove the old AC compressor, put the new one back on, and then fill it. TJ was the last good Wrangler. Yes. TJs were definitely really good. My previous ones were JKs. I had 2 JKs. This one is a JL. It's a 2018 JL. But it's on the... It's a weird engine. It's a 2.0 like turbo engine. It's odd, but it has some power to it. It's just not like the old ones. That's all. So yeah, hers is an 03 TJ, and it's a really good Jeep. All right, we're on here. Battle Manager. I put this in here. All right, we're gonna try running it again. But yeah, I can let you know. I'll message you or something. Does she have a soft top? No, she has the hard top. And we are going to be buying a soft top for hers, but we want the soft top that goes just above the seats, drops, and then goes like out over the bed to make it look like it's a truck with the soft top. Oh, neat. Yeah, I'll let you know. For the TJ? Yeah, hers is we want truck soft top. And that kind of is it, like this. Like that. Like this. This is kind of what we're thinking with hers, right? So you have a top that comes over. It'd be more like this one. Comes over, covers the back, and then goes like over the bed. I think that would be cool. Something like that. So that'll be sort of the next rendition for her Jeep for a while. Yeah, I have the AC reclaiming system arriving because, you know, I was like, whatever, I'm going to order it. So it'll arrive. I'll be able to pull out the refrigerant myself, swap out the AC compressor. Should be good. All right, so they attacked first. We're still hitting both of them. Okay, let's stop this. Let's look at my G-Bugs. Light system created, enemy spawning, reference room. Oh, okay, that's just a regular message. This kind of shows it right here, right? So on here, we have enemy global count, participants added, enemy 0, active 1. So it doesn't see the second one. Global. All right. The brute kit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine, I just picked up a couple weeks ago. I got solid doors, right? I've always, since I've had it, I bought it without doors. It had trail doors put on for a while. And then I just bought some doors. They're on there. So it gives it like a black-green look, which I kind of like. I like it. All right, so enemy count is not quite seeing it, right? We go to the room. Battle enemy creates this. You should. You were enjoying it and doing stuff. I know you're busy, right? But an hour here, an hour there. At least you're, sort of getting into it. I know. I used to, and I still do. Let's say, I start work now at like 7, right? On 4 days out of the week. What I do is I just wake up a little bit earlier. I spend maybe 45 minutes to an hour every morning before work doing a little bit of this. I try to fit it in. That's all. And in the mornings on the weekend, I generally get in about 3 hours of streaming, just about it, and get some other stuff done. Then I try to come back to this. I just fit it in when I can, right? It's a hobby. Doesn't pay bills or any of that stuff. So, but I enjoy it, right? So I enjoy doing this. I enjoy solving the puzzle of it and everything else. But no. We're going to put a new debug message in here. We'll just start with this one. Actually, I need that one. Let's make another one. Put it down here. And I get it. Work is tough, right? Work, the 4-letter word always gets in the way. I don't know. Little bits at a time. That's all I can say. All right, this time we have saved. We're going to try it again. See if it is hitting this line. Because I need to see switcher like setting my enemy count, right? It may or may not be, but we're going to try it. OBS seen this yet? Yeah. All right. Okay, so now they're there. We're going to select. Let me see one selected. We're going to hit attack. Okay, so they both do it. Let's end turn. Bottom one attacks twice, but not the top one. So it's not seeing the switching, right? That's the problem. Because where'd it go? Here. This never showed up. I'm going to do a cleanup. Run a clean real quick. Okay. Now we're going to run it again. And we're going to see what it does. It always takes a little bit longer after you do a clean to start the game. Hi, Arwen. All right. Enemy attack first. We'll attack again. Same sort of scenario. And if I end turn, I bet it's just this bottom one that does it still. It's not effectively switching between them. Well, we need to think about this for a little bit, right? Because why... why would it not be switching correct? Yeah, well, sort of. That's what I've been trying. So today I've been adding in, making it so that it's random on how many enemies show up between 1 to 3, right? When I'm attacking, it's also attacking both at the same time. And when I switch over to the enemy turn, only the bottom one is attacking. So it's not exactly working properly. And I think we need to find battle player. I want to look for where it's calling the switcher. Roughly... oh, object. Player. Because I have battle switcher in here. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so what I did was I physically have 3 enemies in the room, right? It's now randomly, so now that part's working. We have it randomly selecting between 1 to 3. Usually it does 2 the first time you attack. Like the first battle for this, it's always choosing 2 at the moment. But when we'll run it again and try to work through the process in my head. Right? All right. So we're inside an attack. It's random how many of these should show up, although it's been doing 2. And it's random on the turn order on who's going first. This time it's the player. The enemy did not attack first. When I select, it's always selecting the top one. And when I attack, it currently it attacks both, which does not work real well, right? So, and the way I have it working is the player switches from the regular player to the battle player, and the battle manager, there's a battle manager, a battle switcher, because all these objects in here are separate than the regular objects. They're not the regular player, that's not the regular enemies. They're just battle enemies because they only really exist inside that room. So right. I think my issue is the way I'm calling the battle switcher, right? So let's stop this. Let's find my player here. There. This. So I think I need to add global count in my global, like my range into here. Because the problem is this is where it gets created first. So we're going to say our count, right? Equals I random range 1 to 3. Then this. And we're going to remove it from battle switcher here. So we're going to take this out. And we don't need the debug anymore. So we're going to remove that. Let's run it now, because now we have a new order on operation task for it. That should set it before the battle starts, right? Instead of setting it after the battle starts. I think that was part of the problem. By that, I mean, as it initializes battle switcher, it needs to already determine the order of it. It was happening after battle switcher was started before. So it went battle switcher, now you're in the room, then it tried to decide the order. You know, I don't think it was working right because it was already too late into the operation. So let's see. We have light attack. Nope. End. Well, that didn't quite do what I thought it was going to do, but that's all right. GameMaker, yes. Welcome in, Mesh. How you doing? Alrighty. You doing super swell? I'm doing well. Thank you. Just working on a game, you know, for a little bit in the morning. Nothing major going on. And go from there. So it didn't really do what I wanted to, right? If we say attack, I can't switch between my attack. It's still attacking both of them. Well, let's think about that. So right now, let's rewrite this, right? Our current dilemmas. Right now, what's it doing? So right now, it's the battle switching is currently player attacks are currently still hitting all enemies at once. When we hit end turn, only original. I guess that would be the original, right? Only original. Flank. Welcome in. Operation went jeepin'. Looked like fun. Yes. We had it was a good weekend. It was a fun weekend of camping and jeeping and all kinds of off-roading. The operation on this is not much fun right now. So only the original enemy is doing the attacks. Does not switch to next in attack order, right? You miss a good camp. You go to Possum Kingdom every year if you can. Yeah, nice. Jeepin, we safely used our propane and propane accessories. We did. It was a lot of fun. We went camping near a river. Sophie had a blast, and You know, we had her little loot bag on, so she ran around, found all the loot for us. Respect the grill. That's it. It was a good one. Yeah, it was fun this weekend. All right, so this here is generally, whoops, not that one. These two are kind of what our problem is, right? So right now, the player attacks are currently hitting all enemies, even though the first one is selected. Even with first one selected. So that is, that's it. These are our problems, right? So even with the first one selected, we are hitting them all. So like that. They both take damage. And then only original enemy, which is this middle one, is doing the attacks. Does not switch to the next in attack order. So we end turn. This one's doing the attacking. That's kind of our two main problems that we have right now. Camp cooking is the best. It is. It 100% is. Even though we normally cook over the fire, but there was already sort of a fire ban going on. So you could only use above ground propane cooking. You were not able to make a actual fire yet because of the ban. So it limited what we did. And we knew ahead of time about it. So we only brought like the propane stuff. But normally we enjoy cooking over the fire. Flank on here. Yeah, so one, when the player is attacking like this, it hits both the enemies at once. It's only supposed to do one of them, right? Then when they attack, it's supposed to go through the order on which one's attacking. But right now, it's only this middle one doing it. Getting a portable Blackstone has been a game changer. Yeah, we have a multiple different like propane cooking. Let's close this. Secret Harbor, you have a fire ban there? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this year is going to be a lot drier in many places. So it's going to be fire bans everywhere, right? So instead of doing like a ground fire, we have like propane ones that we had to use. Am I accidentally attacking the parent, not the child? Well, they're not parent and child of each other. But yeah, I think it technically sort of is attacking like the parent, so it's affecting all the children of the object, right? But what I'm gonna do is in Battle Manager, in the turn over one here, I'm gonna add a debug. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like, right? It's affecting, you attack one and it hits all of them at once because of that. Let's just say turn over. How about like, no, I don't know, next participant. Go there. Let's do plus the string of participant. All right. Let's run it and see if this fires. Right? My debug message. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It would have been nice for a ground fire, but we had somebody had a big above ground propane fire that we could sit around, so that was nice. But outside of that, yeah, all the cooking had to be on propane, and I feel like it's going to be that way most of the summer. We're already we're only in April and there's already a fire ban, so we just have to reorganize how we go camping, because like I said, we like to normally cook over the fire, so we just have to do it different. Yeah, we did not get enough snow this summer. We did not, no. Even north of us, they did not. So, you know, we get runoff, right? We didn't get a lot. There's not a whole lot of water. You have one of those in your backyard, a propane fire pit. Yeah, this was kind of neat. It is a it looked like this one right here, kind of like that. Maybe, yeah. This is what they brought. So it had like the little fire lava rocks or whatever they call inside of it. And it worked pretty good. It, you know, it was nice to sit around at least, but you can't cook over it. So, I mean, you can, but the lava rocks really get a stink to it if you cook and they splatter food onto it. So you generally don't. All right, let's try this again. Oh, I can make my notes a little smaller so you can see that better. There we are. All right, light attack. Good for roasting marshmallows. True. Light attack. We select. We hit E to activate. Okay, so we're still doing the same thing. Although they took a damage, but no damage. So this is fun. All right, let's end turn. Middle one attacked, right? Let's come down to our... This is our main part of our loop right here. In here, we can see our turnover next participant. It is switching between them. There's reference IDs. So reference IDs showing 463, then 464, then back to 463, the 464. But I don't think that's... I still think that's not right. I think it's only doing player and one enemy, not enemy. But I guess we'll figure it out. Am I only taking times one damage? What do you mean? So what I think they're doing is overlapping a little bit. In Battle Manager, right here, I think this is going too quick. I think we're going to switch it to 3. Delay it a little bit more before we switch into our alarm 0, right? Which is the participants. And I wanted the one outside of the functions, yes. Then, because in here we call the participants, right? So inside Battle Manager, I want my participant block. Where did I put that? Up here. So participants. We're going to reorder this a little bit. I want this up here. ID, if active, ID. Participants, this is our order turn, shuffle, that kind of stuff. Like, they both aren't dealing damage. No, it's only one of them. For whatever reason. They're not supposed to do it at the same time. They're supposed to take their turn. And they're not taking turns. So they're kind of just like one of them is attacking and then the other one's being skipped. No, I'm pretty sure it's only dealing one damage, right? So it's only one of them attacking and one of them dealing the damage. The player's not taking double damage, right? Oh, well, I don't want to run it yet. Let me finish rechanging my alarm 0 here. All right. In my alarm 0. Oops. I want battle manager alarm 0. So here. Yeah, we're going to replace this whole thing. So, gotcha. Because when you attack, it's linking their HP. True, it is. And damage taken, so just seeing if their attacks were also. No, I'm pretty sure the way... well, we're going to run it. We'll see if because I'm in the middle of switching things. Let's see if we get a bug. But I'm pretty sure it's 1 for 1, right? So only one of them is attacking, one of them, and it deals damage just from one of the enemies, right? So we do attack. It hits both of them. End turn. Yeah, it only went down, even though it attacked once or twice, it only did 1 point of damage. So this one of them is like the other one is not dealing any damage. But I think we can solve that here. We're going to rewrite this whole alarm 0, right? So if our battle is over, true. Let's just put some space here. I think the way this is going to have to be is let's build our participants into the array on our first run of it, right? So if that makes any sense, build participants on first run. If the array is already empty, right? So if empty. All right. If our array length of participants is this, then we'll do this. We'll say with object battle player we want to array push. We want to update our array with other participants and their ID. All right. Now I also want it with, we're going to do it all at once. I want with object battle companion, even though they're not there yet, but with the companion, same thing. Other participants in the ID. But now we're going to do it with the enemy, with object battle enemy. And we'll update the array. No. With if active. If it's active, then we'll update the array. Push other participants and the ID. All right. So now we want to update shuffling, right? And let me think about that. Do I want that in the same? Yes. We're going to leave it inside the same array if, but I want to update the shuffle. So for variable I equals my array length. This is participants. Do -1. Oops. That I is less than 0. Oops, 0. And we want it to subtract. All right. We're going to have two variables in here. We want j and I, right? So j is equal to our I random, our range. And variable temp is participants, because we want to overwrite that. Participants I participants j. And then we're going to say participants j is temp. There. We'll add a debug message in here for good luck on it. For testing. So debug message. Let's do participants. Built plus our string of our array length, and that is participants. All right. Now, view current participant can come back up. That's okay. If instance exists, current dot start turn, fine. Else, we're still gonna delete the participant and our alarm 0. All right. Let's run it. That should update it, but we should get a better message to know if it's running or not. Let me save it and run it. All right. Light attack. End turn. 1, 2. Switches back. Well, this is probably going to be a dilemma for my day. But that's all right. Let's take a look here. So if we follow the loop, right, we see sort of the same sort of thing, but where we're in here, participant built, we're not seeing that. So it's not even calling this. Yeah, well. That'll be something I just work on today, I guess. Anyways, we're approaching end of time. I generally only try to stream about 3 hours. We're getting pretty close to it. So today I have some more time. I will work on that. I do want to get in some gaming. I want some Crimson Desert time. I want some Windrose time. Both those games I really enjoying. And yeah, we're gonna switch over to just chatting for a while. I got to figure this out, and I can't remember which one who was saying it. So let me look back up here. I don't remember which one of y'all in chat were saying this, but it still is acting like it's hitting the parent, not the individual child. So I need to really break things apart and try to look for that, because I don't understand why it's doing that when it wasn't designed to hit. Like, I wasn't trying to hit the parent. I was just trying to hit the enemy. Right? But it is acting like it's hitting the parent. And I normally don't tell it to do, like, target a parent. So maybe I messed up somewhere with it, you know? And I don't know. It could be. All right, let's see if anybody, we have our priority stuff here for one of the ideas. This is some of the stuff we had talked about, and that was it. Nobody drew anything today. And Q Emitter, welcome in. How you doing today? And I don't get it. So what else is going on today? Well, I need to organize the gear, get it back on the shelf and all that stuff, all the fun stuff, right? All the camping gear. So I have to do that. Organize some stuff in here, and we'll be able to get back to this at some point. But like I said, I also want to game a little bit, because tomorrow I go back to work. So try to spend the last of my weekend as efficient as possible. Do all the enemies, they sort of, right? So if we go to battle enemy, I mean, they got parent battler in here, but you know, so this is the parent, right? And I don't think I'm calling parent battler anywhere in my attack. I've been trying to say with, like, object battle enemy, not necessarily a parent. So and I'm using ID with it to identify it. not blanket statement, right? But it's one of those things. We'll just have to sit and figure it out. But, all right, what do I want to do for this week? Well, let's run it again and we'll show it real quick, right? So I think this week, obviously, I want to fix this, and this is probably what I'm going to spend my week on. Here. It looks a little weird on the monitor, but I think for this week, my goal is to get the automatic switching correct for the attacks for the battle, right? And if I select, I want to be able to choose the enemy I want to hit and not have the damage done to all of them. And then when it's the enemy's turn, I want it to switch between them, but not one of them doing all the attacking. So there's a little bit of stuff that needs to get done. But like I said, I'll just spend the week working on it. And hopefully by Saturday, I'll have it fixed. I think that's going to be my goal, is to get all the turn-based stuff down and fixed for the enemy attacks. Right? Because it's... Yeah. So, I think that's kind of where we're going to be at. All right. Let's see who is on. And kind of go from there. I wonder if any other game dev ones are on. Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get it working, but I think I have an idea of the direction I want to go with it, right? And some stuff I want to like pinpoint and target with it. So hopefully we can figure that out. But I'm not rushing it, so I'm going to take the week, try to figure it out, because this is the last stream until Saturday, because starting tomorrow I go back to work for the week. So let's see if this person's on. All right, so it looks like he's there. We're gonna go say hi to Delric. All right, perfect. So we're gonna say hi to Delric and see what he's up to. It looks like he is working on his World of Warcraft meets RuneScape style game, and it should be fun, right? But I will see everybody on Saturday. Now, if you have not, don't forget you can join the Discord. You can choose game development role, and you'll be added into the section that's all the game development. You can keep up to date with stuff, post your own stuff, whatever, right? We also have some gaming area and that kind of stuff. And don't forget, today at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, it's only 10 right now. So at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, Jeep and Annie will have her cooking stream. And it's always a good time, right? Some good food, all that fun stuff. And then tomorrow, she'll be back to game streaming, and she'll be doing that tomorrow. So, good times, right? Secret Harbor, pleasure having you here. I hope you have a great day. And I will see everybody later. Let's go say hi to Delric. Bye, y'all.